And, years later, I bought a dog from a lady named Joan Milcrease, and his name was Coral Gable. And because I still was young, she only charged me $400. And that dog went on to win Group 1 at Westminster and was the top toy dog. And all of my dogs today come down from him on the bitch side, and there's a line going right back to Coral Gable. So between my original stock, the Yaki stock, incorporating the Palace Garden, I've really had like a trifecta of these great dogs that have, really clicked. I've had other friends that have tried to do the same thing and it hasn't quite worked for them. But with my original stock and then those other two lines, it just has reaped, many beautiful dogs. I think my breeding method now is more instinctual. There was a time, I would look at the pedigrees, and I still look at the pedigrees. But now I want to look at the dogs more, and I have for years. I just don't think there's any use of line breeding dogs if you're not getting the results you want. It's great to have a beautiful line bred pedigree, but if all that line breeding is a bunch of average specimens, what do you think you're going to get? So I would rather try to breed great dogs together that have some relation, but maybe not as closely related as a real line breeding, and try to, take my chances that way. I believe in breeding, type for type breeding. And, I just think if you breed for a certain type, if you breed good dogs to good dogs, in the end, it's gonna work, The qualities I look for in a stud dog are, I do want the dog to be well bred. I want the dog to have good health. I want the dog to have good temperament. I want the dog to have some qualities in excess that he can spare and pass on to his progeny. I want the dog to be a good mover. I want that dog to be a good show dog. I want that dog to enjoy being around people. I want the dog to have, the qualities that the standard lays out, but a little bit extra, And I think those are the dogs that make your best stud dogs. They have to have some strength and some stamina, and that's what I look for.